Yesterday, the A's front office announced their vision to build a new ballpark in downtown Oakland. Coincidentally, the Athletics were 3,000 miles away, playing in one of baseball's most storied ballparks, Fenway Park. The A's did not disappoint their excited fan base. They tallied 7 runs and held the Red Sox offense down and broke a 7-game losing streak in Boston. Today, the A's go for the series win behind the arm of Daniel Gossett, who's coming off a solid outing versus the Astros over the weekend. Final game of the series, A's-Red Sox, next. Day baseball from Boston. We are at Fenway Park, home of the Red Sox. It is the rubber game of the series, and Daniel Gossett, the young right-hander, is making his 15th start of the year. It is the Oakland A's and the Boston Red Sox coming up on NBC Sports California. It's presented by Black Bear Diner. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's baseball. Along with Ray Fossey, I'm Glenn Kuiper. Daniel Gossett coming off a very good performance on Saturday against the Astros. And Ray, like any young pitcher, hope to build off what was that good performance.
Yeah, he's pitching for his life, and what better way to do that in September against the Boston Red Sox here at Fenway Park. For Daniel Gossett to be successful, you're going to see this curveball. Keep it down near the ground. If he does that, he's going to have a lot of success. He's got a mid-90s fastball. He likes to use that as well. It seems to be a little bit straight, but if he throws his cutter, his fastball, and his curveball, keeps the ball down, he's got a chance to have success. He pitched one of his better games in his last start. The other time was against the Giants in San Francisco.
All right, and for the Red Sox, they will send former A left-hander Drew Pomerantz to the mound. Pomerantz is quietly having a terrific season. He's looking for his 16th win of the year this afternoon. So day baseball from Fenway Park. It is the rubber game of the series. We'll have lineups and first pitch when we come back. It's the A's and the Red Sox.
On NBC Sports California is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. By Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, Let's Go Places, and by Jack in the Box. Come try the new $4.99 Smoky Jack Burger Combo with small fries and a small drink. Limited time only.
Welcome back to Fenway Park on a nice day, a little overcast, but very warm and humid, and it is the rubber game of the series. The A's are having fun at Fenway. They have more fun if they could win a series against a pretty good Red Sox team. Game time weather is presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. It's 80 degrees, and as I said, a little bit humid, a little bit breezy. Had a touch of rain last night, but it certainly doesn't look like it's going to rain today. A few darker clouds hanging around, but doesn't seem like there's anything to worry about. Let's look at the lineup for the Athletics, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Simeon, Pinder, Lowry, Healy, Olson, Chapman, Nunez, Canna, Fegley, Renato Nunez in left field. Chris Davis gets the day off.
And Drew Pomeranz, who started against the A's back in May 20th against his former team. He's since won a lot of games. He's 15-5 on the season, making his second start this year against the Athletics. Got married last offseason, living around different places with his new bride, and a modified windup. Remember, he was pitching out of the stretch exclusively, and we'll see this new modified, which is a very minute, stands almost like he's out of the stretch, and then takes that right foot, pushes it back towards third base. There's his windup. Not a lot of movement for the big guy. Doesn't really throw hard either.
So the first pitch of the game is in for a strike. So Marcus Semien leading it off for the Athletics with a .252 average, 6 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Breaking ball hit right to second. That's Brock Holt, the Red Sox second baseman today. So 2 pitches into the game, we have a ground out. And with that, let's check on the Red Sox defense real quick. Benintendi is in left field. Bradley is in center, Betts in right. So a terrific young outfield for the Red Sox. Devers, Bogarts, Holt, and Moreland on the infield. Christian Vasquez is doing the catching.
Pomeranz went just 4 innings in Oakland through 97 pitches. A lot of controversy with his manager as he was on the bench. Wanted to come back out for the 5th after his club had scored a run, but John Farrell said no. Brought in Taylor, and the A's ended up winning the game easily. But too many pitches, taking too long to deliver those pitches. Today seemed to be a little bit quicker with his windup, his delivery.
1-1 the count to Chad Pinder. Umpires today. That's Andy Fletcher calling balls and strikes. Alan Porter's at first. Crew Chief Joe West at second. Hunter Wendelstedt is at third. 1-1 pitch to Pinder. Good fastball from Pomeranz.
I have never seen a second base umpire set up where Joe West is right now. Normally they're in center field. Joe, look where he's talking to Bogarts.
Yeah, he shifted.
Yeah.
Shifted for Pinder.
I guess he wanted to have a conversation with somebody this early afternoon. But normally, yeah, and he started the conversation. Every time Bogarts walks away and he walks back, Joe starts talking to him. Joe, let him play. Well, maybe you distract him enough, a ball get by him.
Strike 3 called. I think Pinder knew it. Heads back to the dugout. 2 outs.
Well, you saw the curveball, but then the fastball that he rung him up, and he likes to pitch inside to right-handers, which he's done today. He also likes to throw the curveball, which has always been a very good pitch for him. Pomeranz, the season he is having, pretty spectacular, because Oakland, San Diego, then Boston, a little bit different mentality of the fans. They really want their pitchers and players to do well, as we've discussed.
Pitchcast brought to you by Penn Fed Credit Union. Pomeranz now facing Jed Lowry, 277. 12 home runs, 55 RBIs, and thanks to a good series, Lowry's got that batting average headed in the right direction. He's 4 for 6 in the series.
I'm thinking about Colorado, Cleveland, Oakland, San Diego, and of course when the A's got him, he had asked if he could pitch exclusively out of the stretch because he had too big of a wind-up, too many moving parts, and simplified it, and he's simplified it even more now as a starter with that little right foot move back towards third base. That's all he does. But now with this move, he has to declare with the runner at third base whether it's going to be the stretch or that. I mean, because the runner needs to know himself whether it's a windup or stretch. Has been around a little while.
Yep.
Carl Willis, the pitching coach. Pitcher for the Twins many years, and also pitching coaches. But take a look at the motion. I mean, very, very minute and high leg kick, but the right foot, that is something new, because for a long time he was exclusively just stretch, but now he takes the right foot, moves it ever so slightly. He's got to get him started as a windup, a little modified windup that pitchers have.
3-1 the count to Lowry.
Yeah.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about?
Good start for our graphics operator, Josh.
Oh, man.
Sabathia, Lee, Hernandez, and Porcello, all under the tutelage of Carl Willis. So
it's a good resume.
that is a good resume. And Lowry takes low, so it's a 2-out walk.
Lowry last night coming back to the park where he started his major league career and down the right field line, and again Betts diving to try to keep the ball from going around, and he did not do it, so Jed had to pass second base and go to third, this time with a double off the left center field wall. He stopped at second for another double and RBI with a nice slide from Matt Joyce.
So Lowry aboard with the 2-out walk. Here's Healy hitting in the cleanup spot today and DHing. First pitch is a strike. Healy at 268, 24 homers, 74 RBIs. So far in this series, 0 for 3. Swing and a miss. Red Sox won on Tuesday 11-1. The A's bounced back and won last night 7-3. The A's are going to win the season series, so that's good news. They are 4-2 against the Red Sox right now. But a September series win on the road in this ballpark would be a good thing for this young A's team. Healy toward right field where Mookie Betts waits. He's got it. Side retired. Runner left. And here come the Red Sox in the bottom of the first to face Daniel Gossett. Lineup for the Red Sox brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Bogarts, Pedroia, Benintendi. Pedroia is going to DH today. Then Betts, Moreland, Vasquez, Devers, Holt, and Jackie Bradley Jr.
And Daniel Gossett will try to continue what he did in his last start against the Astros. Good team over the weekend. Team is going to win the American League Western Division and facing now the Red Sox for the first time in his career. So he has a chance to pitch against back-to-back teams that should be playing in October, so it'd be a feather in his cap if he could pitch well again today.
And A's fans ready. course, it's tough to take a picture when somebody walks right in front of you.
Is that your pass? Where's he sitting? Right field bleachers?
First pitch to Bogaerts in for a strike. Xander Bogaerts, the leadoff hitter. He's 4 for 7 in this series. Straightaway defense for Bogaerts. Pedroia to follow, and then Benintendi. Red Sox come in 82-63. They have that 3-game lead over the Yankees. Yankees picked up a game last night on Boston with the Yanks winning, and of course the A's beating the Red Sox. Toward Pinder in right field, 1 away. Defensively for the Athletics today, Renato Nunez gets a start in left field. Canna's in center, Pinder's in right. Chapman, Simeon, Lowry, and Olsen on the infield with Josh Fegley doing the catching today. So Renato Nunez gets some at-bats today. See how he handles the Green Monster,
Yes.
which is always a challenge. It's a challenge for guys who have played here for a couple years.
I hope he was out early with Mike Aldrete and taking some balls off the monster. Renato hit one on Tuesday night. I said, nice job stopping at first. He smiled. Yeah, you'd have been out by 20 feet. So that's what you have to think about as a hitter, hitting the ball off the monster, because they know how to play it.
A's can't get Pedroia out. Now got a 26-game hitting streak against the Athletics. He's 6 for 8 with 3 runs scored in this series. Overall, a .313 batting average, 7 home runs, 57 RBIs. He's got 17 doubles. He's been banged up a little bit this year, playing on a sore knee right now.
Well, it's probably good for him to go 0 for today. So that way he doesn't have to think about it in the offseason about continuing that streak next year. I don't know.
Well, if he gets a hit here, we're going to blame you, right?
He's going to go 0 for 5, maybe 4 today. He may hit 5 at bats. Okay, the good thing about him, and he kind of has a magic wand, and he has so many hits and has had such a great career because he covers the plate, as he did last night with a high fastball with 2 strikes, didn't get cheated.
Chops this one slowly. Chapman scoops. Chapman throws on the run, 2 away. Pedroia just not running all that well right now.
Time now for the Nissan Keys, the game for the Athletics, the season series against the Boston. They already won that, and of course it'd be nice to win a road series, something that's been a difficult thing for them all season. And for the new ballpark, which was announced yesterday, developed a good team like the Indians did in the 90s, to develop a good team to go into the new ballpark, and the A's will attempt to do that with so many good young players. You're looking at one right there, and Matt Olson, Matt Chapman, Chad Pinder, Daniel Gossett pitching. You got players all over the place. So develop that good team, take it into the new ballpark, and not that they're not going to try to win even before then, but bottom line, new ballpark with a new team, a good team, be very special.
276 for Benintendi. He did not play in game 1 on Tuesday. He played last night and had a couple of doubles. So we've got a piece of Fegley.
Yeah, well, this seems to be common now with catchers taking shots, and you know, people don't think about having a strong neck, but this is one of the reasons you have to. You're wearing a mask and a helmet, and your neck has to be strong to not only handle the impact of a foul ball, but also just to carry the mask and the helmet around all the time. Strong neck does help. A lot of padding in the mask helps even more. Feg seems to have all of that.
Almost went around. So 1-2 the count to Benintendi.
This pitch way outside, surprising Benintendi went so far to even think about trying to make contact on a pitch so far outside.
That pitch is high. 2-2 the count. Pinder going back. Yeah, it looks like Pinder's going to have room. He calls off Canna, makes the catch, and that's a 3-up, 3-down inning for Daniel Gossett. No score after 1 from Fenway.
Today's Baseball on NBC Sports California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear.
Second inning, no score between the A's and the Red Sox as Matt Olson steps in. Daniel Gossett with a good first inning, so he's off to a good start.
It's always good, especially your first time ever, not only facing the Red Sox, but first time ever pitching here at Fenway Park. And for Daniel Gossett to get through the first inning, 1, 2, 3, makes it nice. For these hitters, including Matt Olson, big 2-run home run last night. Exceptionally well defensively, ran the bases perfectly.
A pop-up left center field. Anybody going to get it? Yes, Benintendi tracks it down. So initially, it looked like it had a chance to fall, but lots of speed in that Red Sox outfield.
Yeah, Cap, we've talked about that, and Bradley and Betts in center and right, but then you put Benintendi in there. Chris Young also has been playing there. Rajay Davis, and comes out of nowhere. So the young legs, good speed, taking charge from left field, because center and right, you really have to play a little bit deeper just because of the huge outfield. That's the short wall in left field.
Chapman goes after the first pitch, fouls it back. Do you think, Ray, and I don't, it just seems this way in Major League Baseball, that maybe over the last 5 or 6 years that teams have become more athletic? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, the definition of athletic, I mean, it's, it just seems like there's more players that can do more things defensively and offensively. And I'm not necessarily talking about stolen bases and that kind of thing. And maybe it's younger players as well.
I was thinking that because you look at the youthful players and the speed, but yet the power. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, technically, I mean, these guys can work out year round. You look at Matt Chapman. You look at him. He does not seem to be that big, but the young man is extremely strong, very powerful with the swing. Of course, we've seen his arm, but you know, there's an example guy who has great instincts. He can run, cover some ground. We just saw Benintendi in left field, and we've seen Betts and Bradley in the outfield. But the guys in the outfield here experience. This young man and Matt Chapman, he's learning. Again, seeing everything and everybody for the first time, and while it can be very demoralizing, he knows that, and I think a lot of people around baseball know that eventually, probably sooner than later, he's going to get established and swing at strikes because he has so much power, and not be having check swings on pitches out of the strike zone.
It just seems like
you're right.
Teams are the trend now in baseball, and baseball does move with trends. But it just seems like now it's just be a little bit more athletic and maybe a little younger. And you just don't see as many teams that just have guys who just slug the baseball, hit the ball,
the power, yeah. Because I think, and you look at the stolen bases that are down, you're seeing more first to third. You're seeing more aggressiveness on the base paths, maybe not stolen bases. But in the outfield, just what you're talking about. I mean, to be able to track down a baseball that a lot of times you think it's going to be base hit, and all of a sudden there's the guy catching it.
Yeah, and exactly. That's my point. My point is that this athleticism that we're talking about, it's not necessarily all offensively.
Right.
It's defensively. Big swing and a miss by Nunez.
And you can't tell me that as a pitcher, if you see the kind of outfield speed and you figure ball is in the air, it's going to be caught.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good feeling for a pitcher. That's a huge swing by the powerful Nunez, who had a lot of home runs at the minor league level.
It's that one. A little flare, and Mitch Moreland reaches up, grabs it. Side retired. So get a good inning for Drew Pomeranz. Bottom of the second coming up. No score. on the Houston Dynamo from Avaya Stadium. As the season winds down, every game is key as Chris Wondolowski and the Quakes push for an MLS playoff spot. The home of the authentic Earthquakes fan is NBC Sports California. So Dynamo and the Earthquakes square up Saturday night from San Jose. No score, bottom of the second inning, as Mookie Betts leads it off. Betts, Moreland, and Vasquez against Daniel Gossett, who had a 3-up, 3-down first inning. Mookie Betts, 3 for 8 in the series. Of course, he had the big game on Tuesday with the 6 RBIs. A couple of home runs in that game. He's got a total of 7 RBIs in this series and 88 now on the year. 0-2 pitch, and that is a swing and a miss.
And that's the way to do it. 3 pitches, a strikeout. Check swing on a good breaking ball, and Gossett appreciated a nice block by his catcher, Josh Fegley, on the block there, and a quick tag. It's a great pitch to throw, the hard curveball. And we talked in our open about the importance of Gossett to throw the curveball hard. That's the perfect example there, because you throw it down, hitter cannot make the adjustment. And you can see the percentage of pitches and how he throws. The slider and the fastball, the cutter slider combination is very effective for him.
Facing Mitch Moreland, 248, 18 homers, 68 RBIs for Moreland. Moreland is 1 for 4 in the series with the double. That was last night. He was not in the lineup in game 1 of the series. Full shift on for Moreland, and he taps that one foul right behind home plate.
Well, so far, Daniel Gossett using all of his pitches, and his location has been very good. And that's something to build on for him as this game progresses. Remember, the Red Sox hitting for the first time will have to be conscious of that first time through the batting order, second time, etc. Because good teams, good hitters, and especially their hitting coach Chili Davis will try to pick up on something.
And that one is ripped toward right. Pinder to his left makes the catch. 2 outs here in the second inning, and that'll bring up Christian Vasquez. Interesting note here on Gossett. He's been good in the first and second inning, so no surprise today then, but the third inning has been an issue for him. So something to keep an eye on. Trying to get Vasquez here in the second.
What he just did with the 2-strike pitches to Betts, and which he struck him out, and then Moreland, he kind of hung the breaking ball, hit it hard.
Simeon has it. Throws wide. Olsen with the tag. 3 outs. So he needed just 8 pitches to Daniel Gossett, and he has gone 6 up and 6 down. Third inning coming up from Fenway. No score. A's and the Red Sox.
An A's pitcher and the St. Thomas native Jarrell Cotton has donated $5,000 and launched a You Caring page to help raise money and awareness for the damage Hurricane Irma did to the islands. Fans can visit youcaring.com/Jarrell Cotton to support Jarrell. That's youcaring.com/Jarrell Cotton to support Jarrell. That's Jarrell. Like Chris Khris Davis, but Jarrell Cotton. A good job last night picking up the win, his 8th of the season. And in fact, as we talked, he's got a couple more starts, and what a goal to have to get to double figures in his first full major league season. 5 starts last year, did well in rotation this year, and it'd be a great accomplishment for him.
His bullpen did a good job last night too.
Did.
4 shutout innings after Cotton left.
Yeah, it's a great point because you mix and match, and Melvin and Scott Emerson like 6 and 7 innings, but to get 5, and it may be what Jarrell Cotton's going through with his home country. Maybe that factored into coming out after 5 innings. And good job by him, and let's hope he can raise some funds to help support his country.
2-0 pitch to Canna, and that's a strike. Canna, Fegley, and Simeon here in the 3rd. No score. There has not been a hit in the game. The A's have had 1 base runner in the first 2 innings. That was the Lowry walk in the first. Another strike, 2-2.
You see the 2-0 curveball. That's something that Drew Pomerantz is very confident in his curveball. He threw it 2-0, got a strike, came right back with another fastball. He's kind of pitching backwards in a sense, and the fastball count. He throws the curveball. So really throwing both the fastball and the curveball, his 2 primary pitches. See what Vasquez calls. Fastball in, fastball away, fastball in. Breaking ball.
So the count remains 2-2. Lots of curveballs for Drew Pomerantz, 37%.
And you're looking at 92% of the fastball curve, and you watch him, and it'd be fastballs in, fastballs away, curveballs, and an occasional changeup and slider.
Pitch, and just got a piece of that one.
Well, a mass. So if Josh Fegley won, and now Vasquez won also.
So 2-2 the count to Canna. Foul ball, and again it gets the mask of Vasquez. Knocked the mask off.
Well, back-to-back shots, and those have been direct hits. Watch the mask.
Again is popped up down the right field line. Brock Holt hustling, but now coming in is the right fielder Betts, who calls off Holt to second baseman. And Betts makes the play. 1-away.
Well, Jarrell Cotton last night, he had his pitches working. Good changeup, especially with a couple of strikes. There's the best one of the night right there to Bradley, although he would peg one a little bit later for a home run. Great play by his first baseman for the double play. Another double play here, so a couple while Jarrell Cotton was on the mound. Also had a line drive that he caught. Put his glove up and found it.
Cotton now 8 and 10 on the year. So let's see. Yesterday, Wednesday. So he'll pitch in Detroit. A's on their way to Philadelphia after the game. About an hour flight. Interleague series against the Phillies. And then on to Detroit to take on the Tigers Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
He's checking on tickets right now for Philadelphia.
He wants to go to Citizens Bank Park, which is a beautiful stadium in Philadelphia.
Last time we were there, Andrew Bailey and his family come in.
I faintly remember that.
Yeah, and had the double bullpens in right field, the tiered.
I remember it being a nice place. Daniel Migden against Mark Leiter Jr. Remember his dad? Kendall Graveman against Ben Lively. And then Manaya against Henderson Alvarez. How about that, Ray? Henderson Alvarez was with the
Remember that name. He was around a lot last year but didn't pitch.
Actually, skies one behind third. Now it's going to be Bogarts and Benedetti. It'll be the left fielder. So Andrew Benintendi grabs it. So 2 away. Hearing a lot about a young man by the name of Rhys Hoskins for the Phillies. He's got 17 home runs in 33 games. Rookie home run leaders since the All-Star break. So as many as Matt Olson has hit, Hoskins has even hit more. So we're looking forward to seeing Rhys Hoskins, right-handed hitter. So I'm sure the sometimes ornery Philadelphia fans, they probably love this guy.
Yes, they do. For the future.
These Philly fans, they're tough. They didn't even always like Mike Schmidt. He was pretty good.
How about Terry Francona?
They didn't like Terry Francona. He's the nicest guy in baseball.
How about Santa Claus?
Snowballs at Santa Claus. Tough crowd, tough crowd. So it'll be a fun weekend in Philadelphia.
Tell you, one guy might get the biggest cheer of anyone, a former Athletic outfielder DH Matt Stairs, who hit a huge home run for the Phillies. Dodger Stadium. If I recall, it was a pinch hit home run that helped propel the Phillies to success.
The Phillies had a great run. They won a World Series. And to start over. 2-2 pitch is a little bit inside, very close.
I will say Drew Pomeranz pitching a little quicker today than he did in Oakland back in late May.
Yeah, he could take his time when he was with the Athletics.
Well, maybe here at Fenway they say hurry up and pitch and get off the mound so the fans don't know who you are. But if he wins as much as he has won, then they'll like it.
That one is drilled toward left field, and it's going to get down, and it's going to one-hop the wall. And Benintendi grabs it and then drops it. And Simeon is going to head into second base.
Well, when he stopped, it should be a single in the air.
Yeah, I don't think he was going to go.
No, and he should have, Guy, because 2 outs. You hit a ball like that, you think 2 because you know with 2 outs, you don't want to be at first where it takes a couple of hits to bring you in. But I think Benintendi just looked before he caught the ball. And Marcus Semien gets the hanging curveball and hustles around first base, but he's going to stop right there and then continues on. So it'll be a single in there.
Yep, that's the call.
But I mean, seriously, when you have 2 outs and then you know going to the plate that you get something that's close and can be a possible double, even if you're thrown out, you've attempted to get into scoring position. And might as well go for it.
So it is a hit and an error. Hit and an error. And that's a base hit left field. Here comes Marcus Semien, and they're going to hold him up. Benintendi's throw. One hops, now throw to second base, and there's going to be a rundown. We'll keep an eye on Semien. Pinder's tagged, and that'll do it. So the A's do not score as they got close, but not enough. No scores. We head to the bottom of the third. the base hit, but Semien is held up.
Well, one of the problems that the third base coach has here is that the left fielder can play very shallow, and Pinder rounded first base and slipped right there. He might have gotten a run down long enough for Semien to try to score, and you almost have to just take off if you're the runner at third base, because he's looking back, and then once he saw him stop, and that's when he got caught. Kind of maybe drawing a throw, but bottom line, at Fenway Park, when the left fielder is playing almost behind the shortstop, it's hard to score on a base hit. But he rounded too far, and I guess if he doesn't slip, you might have been able to get that run down. But I think at that point, runner at third base, just take off. I'd rather be thrown out at the plate trying versus the runner at first base, but didn't happen, and A's lose an opportunity.
So bottom of the third, Devers, Holt, and Bradley for the Red Sox. 6 up, 6 down so far for Daniel Gossett. And on an 0-2 pitch, a fastball up and away. Devers chased it, 1 away. Second strikeout for Daniel Gossett. And here's Brock Holt.
Chad Pinder, you're going to see running around first base and being held up right there. And actually, Pinder wasn't even at first base by the time Semien was held up. And Semien trying to see if they're going to get Pinder, which they were going to, in a run down.
A lot of times a runner will try to force the cutoff man to cut the ball off, because he'll see him go and say, hey, I can get that out there. But and you do that to ensure that the runner is able to score. But if the runner's not going home, then there's no reason to do it.
And the great shot, that low third camera shot, showed that Semien was stopped and Pinder was not even at first base yet.
2-1 to Brock Holt, who's getting a start at second base today.
It takes a special third base coach to coach third at Fenway Park.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Because, I mean, you've got to know the arm strength of the outfielders, but also just the situations.
And I would think, too, that the normal position for a left fielder here at Fenway is probably 3-4 steps more shallow than a normal ballpark. Manny Ramirez used to throw a lot of guys out because I think people thought they could run on Manny, but he even played more shallow.
Right. And just looking right now to where Nunez is playing left field, he's unaccustomed to playing left field here or anywhere.
So Holt with a 1-out walk, and that'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr.
But you can play shallow in left field, but definitely not center and right.
I don't think there's any doubt that it's the most unique outfield in all of baseball. There's some that got some quirks, but nothing quite like a 37-foot high wall in left field. A right center that goes 420. A right field foul pole that's 296. But even with 296, the right field is still huge. There's a strike, 1-1 the count. Jackie Bradley got his 16th home run of the year last night.
We saw the good changeup that Terrell Cotton threw him for a strikeout his first at bat, but the next time with the changeup, same changeup with 2-2, but it was up and outside and too high, and Jackie Bradley Jr. did not miss it. You're hoping for a pop-up, and he hit it into the bullpen.
And that's a liner. Semien leaps. He cannot quite get it. So Canna cuts it off, gets it in quickly. And that's the first hit for the Red Sox. First and second and 1 out. Marcus Semien timed his leap. Ball was just a little bit too high.
Good idea by Bradley, but Semien was right in the position, but a little bit too high as he did time his jump. But while he's a avid admirer of basketball players, just could not jump high enough. Maybe he should work on his leaping ability.
Yeah, we got to talk to him about that.
Talk to Klay Thompson, maybe. He's a good friend.
Hey, Marcus, 2 years ago you would have had that. Not getting any younger now. See, we could say that to Marcus because he's got a good sense of humor and he would chuckle.
Or as Ron Washington called him, Marcus.
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 So the A's need a hard hit ball right at an infielder as Xander Bogaerts steps up. And that one dug out by Fegley. Bogaerts hit a fly ball to right field in the first inning. Red Sox as a team 6th in the American League in runs scored. And again, last in home runs. How about that?
Jenna Davis talked about the importance of playing the little ball, and just like you said about the athleticism that Red Sox have, they may not have the big bopper, but they will utilize their speed, run the bases well, and especially in the outfield. Through the 2014 season, and then he signed a 3-year deal, got an extension through 2018 last year. I still remember what Chile said after that play in wild card game. He said, man, if the A's had just said, nice going John Lester, 7 innings, let's go to Gregerson and Doolittle, and maybe it's all over. But Lester went out, the rest is history. I guess it was just meant to be.
Chapman's got it. He's going to step on the bag, fire to first, and Olsen digs it out. Double play. Nice play on both ends by the youngsters. Corner infielders, cornerstones.
Oh, they're good. More dealers, as my partner said, good athletic baseball players make a good team. How about this? Step on third. Watch a pick at first base by Matt Olson. And if Olson doesn't make the play, a run's probably going to score because the runner going to second would have continued to run, ball down the line. But the good hands, sure hands of Matt Olson with a throw from Matt Chapman. And what a great play on both ends to turn the double play that the A's badly needed.
So Lowry to lead it off. Lowry walked in the first inning. First pitch is a strike. Hayes had a couple of hits in the third, could not score as they face Drew Pomeranz here in the fourth. Pomeranz looking for his 16th win of the year, and it's an under the radar season for Drew Pomeranz. If he wins today, he will be tied for the league lead in wins. 0-2 pitch, strike 3 called, right on the outside corner. So some more of the numbers on this season. So tied for 4th in wins. We'll explain that in a minute. ERA 7th best in the American League. Strikeouts 11th. So Trevor Bauer, Chris Sale, Corey Kluber all have 16 wins. Pomeranz, Vargas, Carrasco, and Irvin Santana have 15. So he has a chance to join Bauer, Kluber, and his teammate Sale. And after Chris Sale, you could certainly make the case that he's been their 2nd best starting pitcher. I don't think there's any doubt. With Porcello struggling. He's had 1 loss in his last 16 starts. 9-1 and a 2.61 ERA in those 16 starts.
Pretty good run support.
Yeah.
And so Daniel Gossett trying to prevent that continuing this afternoon. There's your 2-0 curveball again. Something that Pomeranz, you could probably book it, that you get behind as a pitcher, head as a hitter, you're going to see an off-speed pitch.
That one was coming in hot. Everybody seems to be okay. And Mookie Betts with a good jump. Grabs the line drive off the bat of Healy. So 2 away here in the 4th inning. And Pomeranz, he's been around a little bit. Obviously, we know about the stops, or the stop in Oakland, Rockies, A's, Padres, Red Sox. And remember, that's just at the big league level. He was originally a Cleveland Indian. He was a 1st-round draft pick of the Indians. The 2 years with the A's, 10-10.
John Farrell and Carl Willis, manager and pitching coach, probably do not appreciate looking out and seeing a pitcher taking his glove and rotating his left arm.
No, don't do that.
No, that's not a good sign if you're one of those guys. Like, what is going on?
Of course, the A's traded Pomeranz to the San Diego Padres for Yonder Alonso and Mark Zebczynski. That was in 2015. And then just a short time in San Diego last year, but he made the All-Star team as a Padre, and then soon after that he was traded.
He wasn't the one that had the shoulder injury that Pollard was.
Yeah, I think he was. There was some issues there.
Yeah, the health issue, and traded a quote damaged product. This just a little bit off the plate according to the home plate umpire, Andy Fletcher.
Popped up toward Bogarts, who backpedals. Still going back, and he makes the catch. So 3 up, 3 down inning for Drew Pomeranz. Bottom of the 4th coming up. It'll be Pedroia, Benintendi, and Betts. No score. X1 voice remote and get live stats on your TV. Change the way you experience TV with Xfinity X1. Bottom of the fourth, no score in Boston on a nice day. Overcast, but very warm and comfortable.
You know, we could get to Detroit and look back in Boston. It's maybe snowing.
Could be.
It's
It'd be a little cooler in Detroit. I wonder if there's any A's fans that looked at the schedule and said, you know what, I'm going to go to Boston, see Fenway, great, right? And then we could jump in the car and drive to Philadelphia. About a 5-hour drive. Why not, right? If you were road tripping to see your team.
Great opportunity. Either that or let's bring out the A's gear and go watch a game at Fenway. Buy a ticket when the A's are coming in town. Of course, they had to have bought those tickets well in advance of this series.
Red Sox averaging 36,147 a game. These guys are having a good time. Fouled right at the plate by Pedroia, leading things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Red Sox with the third best record in the American League, trailing Cleveland and Houston for that best record and home field advantage. Red Sox do not have enough time to catch either of those two teams, so it looks like if they win the division, they will sit in that third spot, which means they would play the team with the second best record. Wild card team plays, wild card winner plays the team with the best record, and I think that'll either be the Indians or the Astros in the American League.
And as the old saying goes, just get there and worry about what happens and who you play, but just get there.
Yeah, you can try to figure it all out if you want, but it really doesn't do any good.
And it doesn't matter when once you get there, anything can happen. Whoever gets hot, and we've seen clubs in the past that just barely make it in, get hot, win the whole thing.
Swing and a miss on a 2-2 pitch. Strikeout number 3 for Gossett.
Well, last night that same pitch was hit to center field for a base hit, but Pedroia a little bit under this could have cut fastball that kind of stayed in the inner part of the plate. Slider, whatever, it stayed in the hittable zone but was not hit.
So 1 out for Benintendi. And there's a shot toward right center field. Canna's got to cut it off. He does. Spins around, gets it back in. Benintendi with a double. So a 1-out double for the young left fielder. Here's our cold hard facts brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. Most hits in the big leagues since 2015. No surprise who's on top. Charlie Blackmon, we don't see him a lot, but we hear a lot about him. And then Mookie Betts, 539 hits since 2015. Bogart's on that list as well. So 3 Rockies are on there. Ray, I think you could still go to Coors Field and hit 270.
Oh, wow. Probably wouldn't make it to first base, but have Herb
be an
Washington,
occasional pinch runner, but
have Herb Washington stand at home plate like Charlie Finley wanted Herbie to stand there and hit the ball and take off Herbie. To have starting blocks for him right there.
that was an idea that was not going to
No,
work. That was Charlie had some good ideas.
yeah.
That was not one of them.
That was not one.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 to Betts.
And Herbie could run, and you think him running 90 feet, you know, from home to first. That was pretty special. Good breaking ball. He stayed pretty consistently with the breaking pitch to Mookie Betts. Struck him out on 3 pitches in his first at bat, trying to do the same in this plate appearance.
Two pitch. Popped up into foul territory. Olsen in the coaching box. He's got it. So Mookie Betts is retired. Betts 0 for 3 last night, 0 for 2 tonight after that big game 1 of the series.
2 consecutive plate appearances in the 0-2 pitch, a breaking ball. This one enough for him to make contact. Second inning, 0-2, struck out.
Here's Moreland. Moreland hit a line drive right at Pinder in right field in the second inning. And the first pitch is a strike. So Moreland now 1 for 5 in the series. Ramirez is getting the afternoon off. Ramirez has not looked good in this series. He's 0 for 9. He's really had a tough year. Is it kettle corn? Otherwise, my partner's not going to like it.
Wow. Cheetos popcorn. Larry sent a picture of Cheetos popcorn yesterday. Kettle corn's good, though. Starting to see more and more around different parks.
1-1 pitch. Good one right at the knees. Moreland thought it was low.
That's a great location, and great that Andy Fletcher is the type of umpire that calls the low strike. Hitters don't like it, pitchers love it. According to Andy Fletcher, just at the knees, and that's perfect. Cannot throw a more perfect pitch than that. Throw a curveball, throw it hard in the dirt.
Got it up a little bit, but it looks like it's going to be playable for Canna, and it is. So Benintendi is stranded at second base, and we're moving to the 5th inning. Chapman to lead it off. No score. Series as Matt Chapman will lead it off. So Chapman, Nunez, and Canna. It's been a tough series for Matt Chapman. He is 0 for 9 with 6 strikeouts. So just one of those stretches. Every player has them.
You know, the great thing and the negative thing all in one. When you're a new player coming to Fenway Park and you take batting practice and you hit it up over the monster, you go, ho, ho, ho. And then you get in the game, you get no chance because you're pitched differently than you are in batting practice. But sometimes the worst thing you can do is try to hit one over the monster. Not that Matt Chapman is doing that.
I think we saw it, and correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, we saw it with Josh Reddick at Yankee Stadium.
That's right. That's right.
And he may not admit it, but
yeah.
he was swinging different.
Yeah. Well, it brings up a good point, because Jason Giambi, when he played for the A's, he used the whole field. And I thought after 5 years, when he came back, he'd go back, but he had gotten so accustomed to pulling the ball at Yankee Stadium, he could not hit the ball to left field. It just was not the way that he could swing. And he was one of the best at hitting them out to left field.
Very close pitch. So 2-2 the count to Chapman. Our good friend Darren Bush.
Yeah, looking on and trying to develop some very good young hitters, and did a good job with them.
And he was able to hold up Chapman, and now full count.
He's so strong, and that's why he started his swing, recognized the breaking ball, and stopped. And have to do the same thing with 3-2, but be ready to get the fastball, hit it if you get it.
So the count remains 3-2. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts for Pomeranz, and 65 pitches.
Is the kind of pattern that Pomeranz has, and showed earlier the pitch selection, the breakdown, mostly fastballs, curveballs. So in a 3-2 count, you can think one or the other. There's the other.
And he had a good swing.
I think with a fastball and curveball, 2 pitches that are thrown effectively by Pomeranz, you can look for the fastball to make the adjustment. And you can see the spin and be able to make an adjustment on a curveball. With a fastball away.
And it came back in, and it's looped foul down the right field line.
But if a pitcher can get a hitter thinking about the curveball, throw a fastball, usually it's going to be late, as Chapman just was on that pitch.
So 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Here it is, and it's up and away, and Chapman has to walk. So good start to the 5th inning. Well, in case you missed it, shame on you. But of course, yesterday the A's naming the site where they are going to build their new ballpark. It's the Peralta site, privately financed, close to BART. Some of the planned site features, of course, in the area where the ballpark will be.
So many positive things, and you're seeing just a few of them right there. I think the $3 billion in economic benefits over the first 10 years. I mentioned that to a local writer, and his eyes lit up and said, wow. I said, yeah, wow, because businesses have to like that. And in the video that was shown, you can hear the local businesses talking about how they are looking forward to having the influx of people coming to downtown and in the area. You could probably see tremendous growth in that area thanks to a new ballpark. So it has started, and yesterday was the first day, and continue forward. And at the same time, try to develop a very good ball club, baseball team to go into the ballpark.
Ballpark is scheduled to be opened in 2023. So the process starts right now for the Athletics to keep the whole situation moving forward.
If we walk around stadiums, walk underneath and to the clubhouses and see the infrastructure, and you could see, I mean, it's scheduled 2 years once they put a shovel on the ground, and looking at the timeline of 21 and 22 for the construction. But you think about just looking at this old Fenway Park and everything that's underneath that's not even visible to the fans. Just so much to start at ground level to work up.
Hit hard but fouled on the third baseline. So the timeline for the ballpark is we'll spend the 2018 season continuing doing what they've been doing for quite a while now, and that's just really community engagement, talking with all the different community leaders, and the 2-year process of permit approval and environmental impact report, and of course then you have to finalize the design of the stadium. That's obviously extremely important. And then 2021, break ground, 2 years to build, open in 2023. So that is the A's timeline for the new ballpark as Nunez strikes out.
Nunez watching that front side open up and the pitch is outside. He just flails at it and the pitch really was out of the strike zone. But if you're thinking inside, you got to pitch away. You cannot really recognize exactly where it is. Pep, one of the things that I think is interesting also with the downtown ballpark is the fact that the A's office is going to be moving downtown. They're going to keep the game day operations at the Coliseum site, but they need more space, and so they're going to go down there, which is going to be close to where they're going to be building. It's going to be very interesting that everything is in that area.
And I'm sure many of our listeners have a pretty good idea of the site that we are talking about. It's basically right next to Laney College. It's almost part of Laney College. It's between 880 Freeway and Lake Merritt. And what's there right now is the Peralta Community College District Administration offices and some parking lots. That is the area where the A's will build the park.
He's pumped. Got my stuff, got my 70s jersey, my cap. But you know, the public transportation probably one of the biggest features, to be able to be close to BART Freeway and be able to walk, and that in itself is going to be huge for a new ballpark.
1-1 the count to Mark Canna. See, those are the administration offices right there and right there. And there's a fair amount of parking. You see the estuary, and that goes from Lake Merritt. It goes right to the bay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Immediately has you thinking of some ideas, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the backdrop of downtown Oakland and the Oakland Hills. Wonderful possibilities.
How about the weather, huh? That's exciting. Just think about the weather aspect of the warmer evenings and afternoons, and so all good things for the new Oakland ballpark. And congratulations to the ownership and everybody involved to select the site and get moving forward.
Canna takes a bit outside, so 2-1 the count. Chapman at first with the leadoff walk, one away.
Pep, I think one other thing too, and you mentioned it about property finance. If I'm a resident or in the city, county, state, and I don't have to put up a penny to keep a Major League Baseball team in the area, that's got to be worthwhile. And it's got to be very beneficial, because teams usually, or cities that lose a baseball team or a professional franchise, usually don't get them back. Milwaukee was fortunate. Seattle's fortunate, but there's so few around the country. So to have the opportunity to have a team that's had a lot of success for 50 seasons, 50th anniversary next year, that is good to keep the baseball team in town.
2-2 to Mark Canna, who hit a fly ball to right field in the third. Canna fouls it back.
Pomeranz, it was a fastball outside given by Vasquez, a little pinky finger on the right hand, just pointing to the outside, but seems like he's overthrown his fastball on occasion. This is supposed to be outside. Look where it ends up. Overthrows it while it's a good pitch and a strike. Location wise, if it's outside, he may shoot the ball to right field with a big gap on the right side to be able to shoot through. But a pitch that was overthrown, fastball, works out to benefit Pomeranz, getting a foul ball. There's the hole on the right side, so inviting with a pitch outside if he stays there. Not this pitch though.
Chapman's got a pretty good lead, and the ball's fouled back again, right up over our head. So the count remains 2-2. Pitch number 80 coming up for Drew Pomeranz.
At 97 through 4, 59 through 4 today, so much better from that standpoint.
So another 2-2 to Mark Canna. And that one's hit hard, past to diving Devers, headed for the left field corner. Chapman headed for third. Benintendi digs it out, and Chapman's held at third. And the A's have second and third with one out.
Yeah, you keep throwing to Mark Canha. Eventually, he's going to get out in front of one, which he did, past the diving Devers at third. Benintendi did a great job getting the ball back in. That pitch elevated to Mark Canha. Maybe the pitch count started to get to Pomerantz a little bit, but Benintendi down in the corner. That was what makes it special. And third base coach really has to go to the foul line to look and see what is happening down in the corner.
Another quirk of being the third base coach in this ballpark. You really cannot see the corner at all unless you almost have to get into the playing territory.
Yeah, the foul line, if not in front or in the fair territory, you're right. Because you stay in the box,
no chance.
You have no chance.
You can't even see the guy going into the corner. So here's Fegley. Fegley takes a touch inside. Watch Scarsonia where he gets to. See, he's got to get all the way there just to see the corner.
And he's probably a little reluctant to get too far, because if you don't get back in time and you're sending the guy, you're going to interfere with it.
Yeah, he's going to run right by you on your left shoulder, which never happens. Fegley takes a touch outside, 2-0, close pitch.
But as much as you want to have a lot of activity as a third base coach, this is not the place where you want a lot of activity, just because it's so hard to coach third. I mean, Scar's done a good job so far. I mean, he's done the right things. Hard to be overly aggressive in a park where, especially the left fielder, plays so shallow.
Fegley another take, and it's another ball, 3-0. So 3-0 the count to Josh Fegley. Fegley on a 3-0 pitch, skies one toward Benintendi. He sets up. Chapman's tagging, and here comes the throw to the plate, and it's going to be cut off. And now they're going to have Canha in a rundown. Throw to third, and he's out.
There's no reason to do that.
There is not a reason to do that. The run does come in to score, so Fegley gets the sacrifice fly.
Wow.
So the A's lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the fifth. Bob Melvin having a chat with Mark Canha. It's a mistake.
Yeah, it's a fly ball deep enough. I mean, Chapman has tremendous speed. Deep enough, Benintendi's just going to hit the cutoff man, which he does. But all of a sudden, here comes Mark Canha, halfway to third. He stops, then starts again, and the cutoff, and he's out. I mean, here's the rundown, easily out at third base, and so 2 base running mistakes today, and then Chip.
I think Chip Hale's face says really pretty much.
I mean,
again, in all seriousness, there's just no reason.
There's no reason
to try to force the cutoff because he's going to score anyways.
Well, in both,
they're not going to throw Chapman out.
Exactly, and in both cases, you probably have base runners that would draw throw unnecessarily. You know, in the first one, you look back to third, you see he's being stopped. You can't draw a throw when the guy's stopped. And in this one, the ball is deep enough, you don't need to draw a throw because he's going to score anyway. And basically, instead of having runner at second and 2 outs, or in the first case, first and third and 2 outs, you're back on the field defensively. So, come on, Goose Gossett. He needs to pitch a 1-0 shutout.
So 12 for 22 and shutdown inning opportunities for Gossett. And so he's got a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. And that one is hit very high to left. And this game is tied.
It's that quickly.
Out of the ballpark, onto the street. Number 5 for Christian Vasquez.
Well, so much for the 1-0 victory. And it's what happens with a slower type breaking pitch that just does nothing except float right into the wheelhouse of the hitter. Look at the location. Stays inner part of the plate. Wow. Begley moved inside where he wanted it outside, and so many times you see home runs that are hit and they're mistake pitches, and that was a mistake.
That one hit towards center. It sounded like it may have been a broken bat. Canha gets back and makes the catch. So 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th. Vasquez with the home run to tie this game up at 1. And right below the seats out in left field. If you were to hit one over, there's just a street.
That's right.
Street vendors, get a hot dog.
Is that Lansdowne?
Yeah, I think so. And then just a couple warehouses back there, a parking lot.
Well, still think one of the most beautiful sights during the All-Star game. They had the home run derby here. See the freeway. We'll be on that freeway going to the airport probably after the game.
Right. If you get a good bounce, you can get to the freeway. I mean, a really good bounce.
Now remember when they had the home run derby during the All-Star game here. Big Mac, the guys were hitting them. Whew, they were just launched. Light towers, all kinds of stuff. No monster seats there, not that I remember.
In for a strike to Brock Holt, who walked in the 3rd. Big hop to Chapman. Throws across 2 away. And that'll bring up Jackie Bradley.
But if you can look at the good news for Daniel Gossett, when he came back after being recalled, he made a very good start against the Giants. Did not give up a home run in that game, nor did against the Twins. When he came back, a 3-run shot to Mancini. None against the Angels. 2-run shot to Cano. None against the Astros. A 1 solo. So maybe he's done for the rest of the year. 3, 2, and a 1. And he's been able to keep the ball in the park, which is good.
Sitting at 60 pitches is Gossett. Gossett last year in the minor leagues, Ray, 153 innings, which is a pretty good number for a minor league season. This year, his combined numbers between the minors and the majors is 155. So he'll get a couple more starts. So We talk about that a lot, the kind of the innings progression year to year. So he's on a pretty good, he's on a pretty good pace.
Exactly.
He ends up with 165, 170 innings this year. That's pretty good.
Build on that for the future, and we showed the numbers for Chris Sale, of course, a veteran, but the number of strikeouts per innings pitched, and he's a workhorse. And someone was saying today before the game that he never shakes off a catcher. He just, whatever you put down, I'm going to throw, which is pretty good regardless.
Gossett's got to get over there. He does. Steps on the bag. Side retired. Christian Vasquez with a solo home run. So we are tied at 1 through 5.
Xbox One, PS4, iOS, and Android. Enjoy fast-paced pick-up and play MLB action-packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Your breakout MLB season is here. You better come ready to play. Learn more at rbigame.com. Is that chowder? Cool. Hey, food trucks have good chowder too, man. You know that, Kite?
I did not. I imagine you probably did, though.
That was the first delicacy we had at the Coliseum,
Really?
with the food trucks.
Good stuff.
Because Vince had the lineup and had chowder hitting fourth. And I said, love clam chowder. So they brought in some chowder and some lobster rolls.
Really?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It was great. Angela did a great job bringing in the food from the food truck. And we always give them credit, the food truck people. Love your food.
Top of the order for the A's as we are all tied at 1, 6th inning. Simeon, Pinder, and Lowry. Close pitch on 0-2. Like a slider.
Sometimes when a pitcher gets a little bit tired, maybe they try to push a little bit too much instead of having the control. Maybe overthrow the ball a little bit. That seems to be what Pomerantz is doing a little bit more in the last couple of innings.
And that one is dropped into right field, the base hit. Good start for the A's here in the 6th inning. So Marcus Semien has a couple of hits. Hey, in-depth Raiders coverage every single day with insider Scott Bair on NBCSportsCalifornia.com. Sunday to Sunday, the home of the authentic Raiders fan is NBC Sports California. Raiders, Jets, Coliseum, Sunday.
Raiders.
Here's Pinder, who's 1 for 2, strikeout and a single. Swing and a miss. Movement on that pitch from Pomeranz. Indians will play again tonight, looking for their 22nd consecutive win. That doesn't even sound right to say that. Indians stay home. They will start a 4-game series against the Kansas City Royals at Progressive Field. Another swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
They have 4 against Kansas City. Is that what you said?
Yep.
Starting tonight.
Yep.
So they have a chance playing at home. Big crowds. Great pitching. Who knows?
That's Joe Kelly starting to throw. And the Royals just kind of hanging in there in that wild card race, barely. 0-2 pitch, foul back, stayed with a fastball, keeping it away from Pinder. There's the AL wild card. You see the Yankees now sitting in that #1 wild card spot. Twins are 2, Angels 2 back, Seattle 3.5, the Royals 4, the Rangers are also 4, and the Orioles are 4.5. So
2 weeks plus.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Running out of time. Grounded to short, could be 2, out at second, and it is a double play. Hit just hard enough that the Red Sox could turn it 6-4-3.
And for a fly ball pitcher, that is big for Drew Pomeranz, because it resulted in a lot of fly ball outs, especially in the first 4 innings, 8 of them. Same in Oakland, but this time gets the double play, the 6-4-3 perfectly placed. Just like that. Going to get the double play, and got a double play of sorts last inning with a sac fly to left field and then the put out at third, but this is the good one, 6-4-3.
First pitch to Lowry is a little bit low. Angels will play the Astros tonight in the rubber game of that series. Peacock and Nolasco in Anaheim. And the Angels will then stay home, and they will host the Rangers.
Well, then there's no reason for the Astros to hope for a day game if the Angels are staying home.
Angels are staying home.
So, I mean, the Angels had a night game when the Angels were going to play the Rangers and the A's were going to play the Astros.
That's
so.
right. We left together.
Yeah.
And neither of us were happy about it.
But, I mean.
And we were both flying to Texas.
Yeah. One to Houston, one to Arlington. But, I mean, if the Angels stay at home, there's no reason to have why would they take care of another team?
Mariners and the Texas Rangers tonight as Lowry gets the walk. That's 3 walks, 4 strikeouts now for Pomeranz at 97 pitches. Felix Hernandez will pitch for Seattle against Cashner for the Rangers. That's the final game of a 4-game series. Mariners will be in Houston over the weekend. So the Rangers have lost 4 out of 5. They are in desperate need of a winning streak, and if they're going to do that, they're going to have to do it on the road, Ray, because after that game tonight, they start a 9-game road trip: Anaheim, Seattle, and the Oakland A's. So a 9-game trip coming up for Texas.
It's a good pitch selection by Vasquez, the catcher, calling the curveball after the first pitch fastball went way up and away, and got a chance with a good curveball from Pomeranz to finish, get the ball down on the zone.
That one hit high in the air, but foul.
That swing right there is kind of indicative of a player coming in and thinking about maybe the Green Monster. And so Nunez opening up on a pitch that was outside, and you just really have to forget about the Green Monster after he joins Joe Kelly. Scott is the lefty, Kelly the right-hander. But you have to be almost like Vasquez was, and you hit a mistake, but you just take the ball where it's pitched and try to hit it accordingly. See if the mistake is inside here.
1-2 pitch bounces way out in front of Vasquez. He just kind of put his body there and said, the ball's going to hit me at some point.
Now for John Farrell, depending what happens with Ryan Healy, as pitch number 102 is coming. He does have the lefty up at one time when it was just Joe Kelly. Throws near 100 miles per hour, but if Healy reaches, then Farrell could go to his lefty. If he doesn't think Pomeranz could get Olson out, at least he could go to that lefty in the bullpen.
Healy with a big cut, just got a piece of it to keep the count 2-2.
Curveball and just on top of it and barely. His last home run, Healy hit a 3-2 slider from Martez and the Astros. Slider that went to left center field and gone easily. Fastball away.
And that one's hit toward right down the line, but it's going to be into the seats. Vasquez and Pomeranz are going to talk it over as Healy keeps fouling pitches on.
I got it. You take it.
I don't think they're getting along down there very well. Another 2-2. Here it comes, and it's bounced foul past Steve Scarsoni down the line. A young Red Sox fan will head home happy. Did you say thank you? Wish I had a dollar for every time I've said that in the last 11 years. Did you say thank you?
Dude, which one?
Both. Line drive off the glove of Devers into left field. So a good at bat by Healy. It ends with what should be a base hit.
And decision time for John Farrell. If he takes Pomeranz out now, Pomeranz is going to be really upset, but that's why he's got the lefty warming up. But a great at bat, you're right, a hanging curveball. And this is not John Farrell, and he's happy about that, unless he's going to make the decision. But Ole got him off to the side, and well, it's hit extremely hard as Carl Willis, the pitching coach, out to visit with his left-hander. In fact, you know, thinking about in between innings, they were showing, they called it the priceless moment. It was Farrell, the manager, and it was Roger Clemens striking out 20 batters, second time. He did it here. Showed it the second time, but it reminds me of right here in 1986 when Tony La Russa took over as the manager of the Athletics. And he would go on and managed for many years and Hall of Fame. But it was here that he named Dave Stewart to start the first game, and it was against Clemens. Clemens could never beat him. But notice in the great notes today on this date in 1990, Dave Stewart won his 20th game for the 4th consecutive year. And of course, Dave in our studio, and great pitcher for the Athletics, but it was something that Clemens, when he faced Stewart, there's no way he could ever beat the A's. It was just something that Dave Stewart did against the Red Sox, that he never beat him. But yet Clemens, some excellent seasons, but to me not as good as Dave Stewart.
There's a shot foul.
There's a lot of pressure on Drew Pomeranz right now. Pressure because Carl Willis probably told him, we're going to leave you in because you're going to be upset otherwise.
Well, Olson against lefties. He's 8 for 32, and that does 8 for 34 now with the 2 at bats today against Pomeranz.
Last night he hit a 2-run home run in the first inning and turned out to be very big, and a hanging curveball that left very quickly, and that was against Doug Fister, who lasted very short last night. See Tony Simp in the second deck on a 2-2 slider at the Coliseum over the weekend. Got Zach Britton. Jed Lowry's going to try to get a huge lead off second base in the event a base hit to the outfield. Center and right, no problem, but at left field, you have to get a good jump.
Olsen rolls it foul, and now the count 1-2. Lowry at second, Healy at first. And he's looking for a big hit from their rookie first baseman, Matt Olson. The crowd, which is generally pretty quiet today. It is a pitcher's duel, but they're starting to get into it now. One-two pitch. Fastball is high. Quick throw to second, and Lowry gets back. So Vasquez, quick release. His throw sailed just a little bit high.
Sometimes that's a pre-planned play. Ask for a high fastball and kind of set yourself up like you're throwing a second for a caught stealing. But Bogart's playing close to second, and that probably was just seeing Lowry trying to get the good jump off second, and Vasquez quickly throwing to second.
Two-two pitch, and a good take by Olsen on a breaking ball in the dirt. Matt Chapman, the on-deck hitter.
A good take on a breaking ball. You recognize the spin down that low. It's going to stay low. And Olsen, good eye.
So the runners will take off, so they'll get a little extra jump. So Lowry and Healy set to go. They take off, and the pitch, a swing and a miss. He struck him out on a high fastball. So Olsen strikes out. A's strand a pair. Bottom of the sixth coming up. It's a 1-1 game.
Part of the A's new innovative program focused on increased benefits, flexibility, and discounts. Program rewards tenure and includes exciting discounts on concessions, eliminates ticket exchange limitations, and provides exclusive new experiences and events for members. Renew or purchase new season ticket memberships now at athletics.com/2018. Get them now. They're going to see some good baseball and get the season ticket memberships. I can envision this new ballpark, and I think the A's would love to see a crowd like this on a Thursday afternoon at the new ballpark. I'd like to sit at the Coliseum as well. But now I'd like to see Gossett get through this inning.
Tapped up the third base line, and it is going to just go foul.
I remember a time, partner, that would never go foul. The ball on the ground like that, it would start turning right. But this one turns left, fortunately for the A's, and Matt Chapman grabbed it. Foul territory. You see guys, coaches during batting practice, just take a baseball at home plate and roll it down the third base line.
Every city you go to.
That's right. Just see what kind of direction, how it's working. And this is when the dirt was, I mentioned earlier in the series, from the foul line to the grass was much wider than what it is now.
0-1 pitch is driven toward right center. Canna's going to get back there, and Canna makes the running catch. Deep part of the ballpark, headed for that triangle out there.
The Coliseum, that might have been a different story. That might have been over the Xfinity sign. But here, it's caught.
Canna had a pretty good read on it the whole way. One away, and here's the designated hitter, Dustin Pedroia, who is grounded out, and he has struck out. 5 hits for the A's, 3 hits for the Red Sox. So that's Brandon Workman starting to get loose. Looks like Pomeranz, his afternoon is probably over. Gossett, on the other hand, just 68 pitches. He's done a much better job of controlling his pitch count than Pomeranz. Pomeranz pitched well. I mean, 5 hits, 1 run. Pomeranz trying to get his 16th win. That one drilled left center field. Nunez can't get it, and he doesn't cut it off. So it goes to the wall, and Pedroia's got a double.
So much for my thought on an 0 for 4. But you're right, Nunez, maybe that's a little bit of inexperience in the outfield, because it looked like from our vantage point that ball was going to be cut off, and that's a big 90 feet. As the cutter stayed up a little bit, but right there it looks like he's going to go over and then takes the different angle, and no chance, and even Canna had to back him up to get to the ball.
So that's the go-ahead run. Remember, Pedroia not running real well, so keep that in mind as Benintendi steps up. Benintendi has doubled. He has also hit a fly ball to right field. First pitch is away. Nobody throwing in the A's bullpen, but you know, they're doing that, like move around, stretch your legs.
Maybe.
And now somebody is just now starting to throw.
Maybe they're getting up so somebody else can sit down.
Yeah, that's true too.
There's so many of them down there.
It's like Ryan Dull just now starting to throw.
He's ready.
Yep. Remember when you were a kid, you'd play burnout? Did you play burnout where you stand like fairly close to the guy you were playing catch with and just throw it as hard as you can?
Yeah.
Kind of a stupid thing to do, but you did it because that's what
stupid.
you did. Yeah, you know, I mean, you're burnout. Ryan Dull would be great at burnout.
At 60 feet 6 inches.
Fire as hard as you can. And now it's 3-1. On deck is Mookie Betts. So tough part of the order for Gossett to navigate through.
Well, this is where Benintendi has been loading up early. Watch the leg kick. He will look for a pitch, look for a location, and let it go.
It's been very high left center field. Canna turns around, and it is off the wall. Pedroia is going to come in to score. Benintendi with another double, and the Red Sox take a 2-1 lead. So that one hit high off the wall, very close to the yellow line.
Yeah.
And Canna played it perfect.
Yes, he did.
It bounced right to him.
Yeah, unfortunately though, Pedroia knows this ballpark, and even though it came back, he knows it's probably up on the wall, and even though he's not running well enough, he could play the carom as Canna did perfectly, but at least halfway to third base, you can see some of the guys giving Drew Pomeranz that fist pump in the chest, saying, hey, got you a run after you're out of the game. And Gossett also out of the game as they turn it over to Ryan Dull to try to clean up the mess.
When it's time for a change, take Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts.
California is brought to you by Black Bear Diner. Feed your inner bear.
Beautiful look at downtown Boston. Red Sox have just taken the lead 2-1 over the A's here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Back-to-back doubles by Pedroia and Benintendi off Daniel Gossett, and it has knocked Gossett out of the game.
Well, Ryan Dull's done such a good job of cleaning up messes. Let's see if he can continue to do this, because one run's huge at this point. Especially the bullpen of the Red Sox will try for 9 outs.
First pitch to Mookie Betts is inside. Two and 2 with a 4.71 ERA for Ryan Dull. Mitch Moreland, the left-handed hitter, will be next. There's a slider for a strike. Inherited runner stranded. 16 for 18 for Dull, kind of his specialty, and where he pitches in games, it's a very important stat because he comes into games a lot with runners in scoring position. Some guys are better when they start an inning, but Dull is the guy who comes in usually when there's, as you like to say, there's a little bit of a mess.
Yeah.
One and one the count to Mookie Betts. Benintendi with a good lead at second. And that one is skied toward left field. Nunez shading his eyes. And he's got it. So the sun has come out today here at Fenway Park. It's really been overcast all day, but just in the last couple minutes, we've seen some sunshine.
I know
there's
Betts
a pretty good shadow right between the pitcher's mound and home plate.
And that's what this upper deck has done to Fenway Park. At one time it was, well, you can just see the outline at home plate is the upper structure that they built to increase, to add the 406 club below.
So 2 away for Moreland. Moreland is 0 for 2. He has lined out and hit a fly ball to center field. There's that shadow. Tough on a hitter. Think about a baseball traveling upwards of 90 miles an hour, going from where you can see it to where you don't quite see it as well.
And you see it coming through the sun. It's a curveball that, oh, what happens? I don't see a spin. Usually that is what happens. Sun to shade.
Well, the left field, Nunez is going to turn around. He's going to play it off the wall. Benintendi is going to score. Moreland to second with a sliding double. And it's 3-1 Red Sox. 3 doubles here in the 6th inning.
2 off the wall. One to left center that might have been able to be cut off, but man. Jet Lowry said it best last night. Maybe when he was playing here, he didn't utilize the wall enough, but there's no reason in the world as a left-handed hitter to try to pull a ball when it's outside, because the wall is going to give you a lot of hits. It will take some away from you, maybe extra base hits, but if you run hard, because you know it's not hit out, but there's probably more hits off the wall than home runs that go over the wall.
So Moreland gets his 69th RBI. Here's Vasquez. So the Red Sox today have 6 hits, 1 single, 4 doubles, and 1 home run. The home run by this guy, Christian Vasquez, it was in the 5th inning. And he launches one well foul.
For Vasquez against Gossett, a breaking ball that stayed in the inner part of the plate. So we mentioned it, not giving up a lot of home runs. That one, though, in the wheelhouse of the right-handed hitter.
Chased a slider in the dirt. Fegley will flip to first, side retired. Red Sox get 2 runs on 3 hits. 7th inning coming up. The Red Sox lead the A's 3-1. of the year. Check this out. Austin Jackson of the Indians catches it, flips over the wall and into the Red Sox bullpen. It reminded us of what Terrence Long did way back in 2002, and Terrence Long's catch in 2002 saved the game. I mean, it was the last out of the game.
Manny Ramirez hit it. Looked like it was going to be a walk-off.
So you will see that out there, and that's why the wall is very short, and you can flip right over into the bullpen. And there is Terrence Long's catch.
Reaches over, brings it back. Billy Koch ran out to greet him, and Jermaine Dye rode his back all the way to the field.
See, there's the bullpens, and that wall is, I don't know, what do you think, Ray? 4 feet high?
Yeah, it's not there. That's why when Austin Jackson hit it about waist high, and it catapulted over the wall.
Somebody went over the wall in the playoffs. Was it Torrey Hunter?
I think you're right.
Kind of guessing now. If you go right down the line, the wall's even shorter. Been some famous catches down there as well. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts as Brandon Workman comes in. Workman takes over for Drew Pomeranz here in the 7th inning.
Just on Tuesday night, struck out all 3 batters he faced.
Hard slider. 2-1 the count.
That was a blowout, though. A little different score than it came in the pitch Tuesday this afternoon. See if that has an effect on him.
High fastball, and it's a 2-2 count to Chapman, who walked and scored in the 5th inning. The 2 pitch is in the dirt, blocked by Vasquez. So the Red Sox with 2 in the bottom of the 6th to take the lead. Drew Pomeranz will ask his bullpen to get 9 outs to try to get him the win. And it's a leadoff walk. So 4 walks now by Red Sox pitchers. Looks like Nunez is not going to hit. It's going to be Matt Joyce. So Nunez got a couple of at-bats today, went 0 for 2. Here comes Matt Joyce. So that's Robbie Scott, who's been out there a couple times now. So would there be another switch? We'll see if John Farrell wants Joyce to face a left-hander, and I think he does. And he's going to make the call. So Brandon Workman faces one hitter, walks him. And that's it. Pitching change.
Here we go.
Scott coming in. Here we go. Well, Matt Joyce was going to hit until Robbie Scott came into the game, and Matt Joyce will not hit. So Matt Joyce is out of the game. And that's Franklin Barreto. He's going to hit. So Joyce in the game, but once you're announced, you're in there, and he did not get an at bat. So the numbers for Robbie Scott is he's going to face Barreto with nobody out here. So Barreto will hit with Mark Canha in the on-deck circle.
Well, Bob Melvin's got to be thinking, because Barreto on Tuesday hit a rope off the left field wall. So thinking the young man might get into one and hit it over the green monster. But if you're a pinch hitter and a veteran like Matt Joyce, not really that pleased, but it's all about percentages. Lefty versus righty.
First pitch to Barreto is in for a strike. Cole's pitch.
Just to the outside.
Barreto watches that one in the dirt. So Workman faces just one hitter. That is Addison Reed, big right-hander. Outside with a fastball at 90 miles an hour. And he's trying to answer back here in the top of the 7th inning. Outside, and now it's 3-1.
See the way he dropped down. That's why, from a left-hander standpoint, facing a lefty, that's a good pitch, but a righty, he just does not finish. At least on that last pitch, he did not.
So Barreto in a hitter's count. A swing and a miss, and now it's 3-2.
Pulled off on it just a little bit on a fastball down the middle, but when you open up, watch the front side open up. There's your belt buckle, okay?
A little bit.
Now settle down and go to right center.
So 3-2. Chapman at first. Not running, swing and a miss, struck him out. So Barreto got into a hitter's count and ends up swinging and missing at 2 straight pitches. So that's out number 1 here in the 7th. And here comes John Farrell.
Just faced the right-hander quite well, didn't he?
So we got a pitching change coming up. Addison Reed coming in to face Canha. We'll be back.
invites kids 14 and under on the field after most Sunday home games to run the same bases that the players do. Presented by Sutter Health, proudly caring for Northern California, birthplace of pioneers. Always a lot of fun to race around the bases and race the Seagulls Coliseum. That's a lot of fun because by the time you run the bases, the Seagulls are gone. Right now, another pitcher in the face, Mark Kent.
And that would be Addison Reed. Came over in a trade from the Mets earlier this year. So combined numbers, he's got 19 saves. So he's going to face Canna.
You have to figure when Maxwell pinch hits for Fegley, nobody else is warming up. So Reed might have to face the lefty. We'll see. Maybe Fegley will hit. And the sac fly almost hit it out on 3-0.
Canna's got a double. That was in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss. Canna trying to tie it up. So Addison Reed, he's been with the White Sox, the Diamondbacks, the Mets. So he has bounced around a little bit.
Oh, it is with the White Sox, and he was traded to the Diamondbacks. That was pretty big because he was closing for the White Sox. Did a very good job.
Hey, he was closing, say maybe his rookie year.
Yeah, exactly.
So 2-1 to Canna. And that's on the outside corner. Canna doesn't agree. 2-2 the count. And Reed doesn't mess around. He has his foot right back on the rubber.
Well, the sweeping breaking ball and just kept going, but called a strike.
Reed with a look. And that one is hooked foul into the seats. So it looks like everybody's okay down there. That's the hot zone in this ballpark when it comes to foul balls. Right down the left field line. Chapman still at first. He led off this inning with a walk. Remember when that happened, Ray?
About 3 batters ago or 3 pitchers ago. Jeez. And that was work. And that's still his base runner. Scott's done his job. He faced one batter. He go.
Well, Reed is the 3rd pitcher of the inning, and there's only been 1 out recorded. Just missed. Reed stood there for a moment. So the count is 3-2. See if Chapman takes off this time.
That's a great take, and surprised it wasn't called something other than a ball, but fortunately for Mark Canna it was.
Chapman not running, and the ball is lined down the left field line. Benintendi digs it off in the corner, and Chapman will be held at 3rd. So exactly like in the 5th inning, Chapman walked, Canna double. The A's have 2nd and 3rd and 1 out.
That's an amazing at bat by Mark Canna. That's impressive. Now just make sure you stay at 3rd or 2nd on the sac fly. But to reach down and get the sweeping breaking ball and hook it down the left field line, that's a great at bat by Mark. And once again, intending getting to the ball quickly enough that runner had to be held at 3rd. Chapman held by Scarsoni.
So we're going to get a pinch hitter for Fegley. It's going to be Bruce Maxwell.
And no lefty warming up. So stay hot, Bruce. This is the old in anticipation of. Nobody warming up.
They do have Fernando Abad.
Yep. He pitched the inning last night, though.
In first strike.
Probably not available.
Not available.
It's hard to pitch back-to-back games for an inning.
David Price was activated from the
That's
disabled
right. He could
list
have come
today.
in.
But they said he probably is not going to be ready to pitch till Saturday or Sunday, but he is going to pitch out of the bullpen.
Yeah. That's smart on their part.
Swing and a miss, and now it's 0-2. Maxwell has to put it in play. The Red Sox are giving the A's the run. One away, second and third.
Well, pitch a little bit away, and like Bruce, who's been pulling a lot of pitches, open up a little bit.
Went with a high fastball again. This time Maxwell lays off. Reed, the third pitcher in the inning.
It's basically fastball slider.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. So big pitch by Reed, and he gets a big strikeout of Maxwell, 2 away.
I mean, you know going in that he's a two-pitch pitcher, but this backdoor sweeping slider, and while it was out of the strike zone, that's what makes Mark Canha's at bat very impressive, that he would take that pitch and they able to rake the ball down on the corner for a double. Again.
So now it's up to Marcus Semien. A's need a base hit to tie up the game. In the dirt. Plenty of speed with Chapman and Canha on the bases. Betts a shallow right field. There's a strike on the outside corner. So 1-1 the count. Marcus has grounded out, and then he has a single in the third and a single again in the sixth. And now he's behind in the count 1-2. So Reed has made back-to-back pretty good pitches.
That little drop down, that's what makes him effective and tough on righties. So again, Canha did well. Maxwell swung at a ball.
So now the count 2-2. Crowd pulling for a strikeout. Semien pulling for a base hit.
Yeah.
And a good take, and now the count is full.
You'd have to think Padres going to get another slider. Slider, sweeping slider, try to swing the ball for. He's got first base open. Sometimes you even righty on righty with the right hand in the on deck circle. You think about maybe not giving in to it.
And he did not. And Semien has a good at bat, and now the bases are loaded. So 5 walks now by Red Sox pitchers, and we're going to have a meeting.
Come on, Carl, run, buddy. Carl Willis had that great resume, those 4 Cy Young Award winners under his tutelage, but you know what he always did too, Carl? When he pitched for the Twins, I'd see him and say, does your neck itch or something? Because he'd always go to his neck, his throat, you know, area. Going, is it scratching it?
Something's going on there.
He had the turbo sinker, man. All right, let's go.
Willis abiding by the clock.
Our pitching coach for Eric Wedge with Seattle and Cleveland. Actually was in Seattle when Reggie took over there after being in Cleveland. So Chad Pinder, who has had an interesting afternoon.
And Pinder swings and misses.
That's a ball. Boy, you just have to be patient enough, and Reed might not throw you too many strikes. He has not so far in the 3 batters he's faced.
Hard slider, 1-1 the count. Pinder 1 for 3.
You know, ideally, Reed wants to keep the slider down. And that's why a lot of times it's down so much that it's out of the strike zone. He tries to get hitters to swing at bad pitches.
And that one off the mask of Vasquez. So now it's 1-2. So Pinder's going to have to fight back here behind in the count.
Well, he reacted nicely and quickly on the fastball. And that is definitely a shot off the mask to knock the mask completely off the face of Vasquez.
Pinder pops one foul.
Surprised he went fastball. Surprised he went fastball.
Red Sox shifted a little bit toward right center for Pinder. They know he's got power that way. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. He stayed with the fastball. So the A's leave him loaded, and they're missing some opportunities today. 7th inning stretch time coming up. 3-1 Red Sox lead the A's.
The final fireworks of the year, Saturday, September the 23rd, is for Star Wars Fireworks Night. Come as your favorite Star Wars character and enjoy the game versus the Rangers. Log on to athletics.com/fireworks for details.
Good looking t-shirt, mustache gang.
How about a selfie, gang? Okay, let's do a selfie. Hi, Dad.
So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Sam Moll, the lefty, comes in. So Moll takes over, his 8th appearance, getting a good look here in the month of September by the A's. Always looking for good left-handed relievers.
Yep.
So we'll give you the changes for the Athletics as well here in just a moment. Boog Powell is in center field. Mark Canha is in left field. Bruce Maxwell is your catcher. And Sam Moll is the pitcher facing Devers. So Powell in center, Canha in left, Maxwell is the catcher. 2-0 the count to Devers. Lefty on lefty. And that one is hit fair. Just past third, headed for the corner. And Devers is going to ease into second with a double. So, a pretty good looking young hitter. He's only 20 years old, Rafael Devers.
Yeah, falling behind never helps anybody, especially lefty on lefty. Doesn't matter, especially lefty on lefty, you'd have to think, because Figure's going to throw a strike, does not want to walk him. Fastball right down the middle, and Devers a little late with the swing, but a good swing nonetheless.
So that is 5 doubles today for the Red Sox and 11 doubles total in the series. So here's Brock Holt. So 3 straight left-handed hitters with Devers, Holt, and Bradley. And the first pitch is called a ball. Mole thought it was a strike. Holt went to bunt and pulled the bat back.
Call that a ball?
He did.
Wow, that looked like it was right down the middle.
So the Red Sox just playing for an insurance run. Chapman in on the grass. Olsen to step onto the grass as well. Both sneak in, and the ball's popped in the air. Chapman will play it on one hop. He looks to second, throws to first, and it's thrown away. Devers rounds third. He'll stop there. Holt to second.
It hit the runner. Wow. Chapman threw it, and it hit the runner. And instead of having a runner at second and one out because the ball hit the runner, it went down the right field line. Ball was in the air, so the runner at second had to freeze. And there, with the runner coming in, Lowry taking the throw at first base as the second baseman covering. He looked, and then knowing that he has a strong arm to get him, and just enough into the runner that it gets down the right field line. And maybe the fact that Brock Holt was running so fast that look at second base to freeze the runner. Ball ran in just enough on the hitter, or on the base runner.
So it's a sacrifice and an E5. So the third error in the series by the A's, and that one could be costly. Second and third, nobody out. And now the count 2-0 to Jackie Bradley.
Yeah, it was going to be a runner at second and one out. Was Holt wanted the ball in the air, and base runner just cannot run into an out.
Fastball for a strike to Bradley. 2-1 the count. Bradley a single and a ground out. We always talk about execution defensively on the bunt play. You always, when a bunt play is on, you always think about, well, was it a successful sacrifice? Did the hitter do his job?
Yeah.
A lot of times, did the defense do its job?
Right.
And that time the A's just did not. Two and two the count with Xander Bogaerts waiting in the on-deck circle. And a nasty slider, and Bradley strikes out. So with that, Bob Melvin comes out.
Got a good slider. He stayed with it, and that is a huge out, especially with the runners at second and third. Sam Ball could have had a runner at second base at 2 outs.
So Casilla coming in with the A's trying to hold off the Red Sox here in the bottom of the 7th.
From a list of the all-time A's greats. Voting is open now at athletics.com/50 and will be active until the end of the 2017 regular season. The Oakland Athletics 50th anniversary team will be honored at events during the 2018 season.
So Casilla comes in to face Bogaerts. Now the A's bring the infield in. And Casilla, his first pitch, and it hits Bogaerts.
It's a good way to load the bases. Not exactly, I don't think, what he was trying to do, though.
And Bogaerts is hurting right now.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he turned and got him right in the rib cage. Wow. Yeah, it looked like he's moving his left arm, but it looked like he got him in the rib cage. Maybe it's all connected, that a little numb for him.
So he's going to be all right. So Casilla making his 57th appearance. 4.13 ERA, but in a world of trouble right here with the bases loaded. One out, and Dustin Pedroia, the hitter.
Well, that's the negative part. The positive is that if they get Pedroia to hit the ball on the ground, he's not running well. They could be able to turn a double play to get out of the inning. But he hits the ball and hits the ball well, and what he did in the first inning, a ground ball to third, would be a nice thing to see now.
First pitch is not close. Bends Pedroia back out of the way a little bit.
He was taken all the way, maybe because of exactly what happened to Bogaerts.
0 for 10 in his career against Santiago Casilla. Pitch is way inside, 2-0.
See, he's taken all the way.
He may keep doing it.
He's not going to. I mean, he knows he's 0 for 10, but he also knows that the one hit Bogaerts and the first two to him have been inside, and he's backed up as if I said, I'm taking all the way. And he may be off farther away from the plate now than I've ever seen him.
2-0 pitch, and it's a strike. Didn't have to be. Casilla will take it.
That's a gift.
Yep.
Because this is definitely low.
So 2-1. Pedroia probably not taken now.
Doesn't he seem to be farther off away from the plate?
Oh, no question.
And I don't know, that it just seemed like with this at bat, and maybe, I don't know, it just seemed to be strange to see him that far away. Now, granted, he lifts and kind of dives towards the outside part of the plate. Strikeout or ground ball, pop up, anything good for the A's to keep a run from scoring.
So 2-2. Casilla trying to get Pedroia, and Intende is the on-deck hitter. 2-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked nicely by Maxwell. Well, no place to put Pedroia, so Casilla's got to throw a strike.
You know, if a hitter's taking, why throw him this pitch to try to get him to chase? Because look at he's not only far off the plate, but the first move is to third base. So it's almost like if you can throw anything close to the plate, he may be flailing at it. And this has to be a fastball more than likely, and a strike.
Here it is. 3-2 pitch is driven to right center field. Powell on the move, and Powell's going to make the catch. Devers tags, he will score. Holt tags, he'll go to third. So Pedroia does what he needs to do, a sacrifice fly. Red Sox lead 4-1.
Well, that is a pitch made in heaven for a hitter who, look where he is and what he does. He just gets the ball in the air to center field. Obviously deep enough to score a run, and not only that, to advance another one to third. But once Casilla fell behind, got lucky on 2-0, and miss with a 2-2 slider, you're saying, I'm going to throw a fastball. And that's what a hitter can just load up and expand his zone if necessary. He did. Got the runner in.
Here's Benintendi, who has doubled twice, knocked in a run, and scored a run. Runner goes, and Bogaerts will have a stolen base. So just like that, second and third for the Red Sox. Steal number 15 for Bogaerts.
He took off, and it's a fake all the way with runner coming down the line, not really intended to run. And you know, if Santiago Casilla had decent control, might not be a bad guy to walk. Because Betts, while he's good, he's not had a particularly great day, and Benintendi has had a wonderful day.
One-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Swung through a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, so the count even at 1-1. That's Chris Smith starting to throw. Swing and a miss again. Took a little off that time, so Casilla ahead in the count 1-2. Benintendi had 2 doubles last night, and he's got 2 doubles today. One-two pitch is belted toward right center field. That's going to get down for a hit. 1 run scores. 2 runs are going to score, and Benintendi comes through big time, and what a day he has had. It's 6-1. The Red Sox lead.
Well, the leg kick, the breaking ball, and gets the foot down, and that's why sometimes you get a hot guy and you say you're too hot. And he has been hot today. 3 consecutive doubles. That's a big one, especially after the stolen base, putting 2 runners in scoring position, especially with a 2-strike pitch.
Casilla has faced 3 hitters, hit a batter, gave up a sac fly, and gave up a 2-run single. So here is Betts. 3 runs in for the Red Sox, so they were looking for some insurance, and they got it. Betts with a pop up to shallow center, and Boog Powell grabs it, side retired. So a couple of hits, a hit batter, and air. When it's all said and done, the Red Sox score 3 times.
In baseball, the A's will host Fan Appreciation Weekend, September the 22nd to the 24th, the final weekend of baseball at the Coliseum this year. It's during the final weekend. It's against the Texas Rangers. From great prizes to seat upgrades and even game-worn jerseys, there are so many ways to win. Visit athletics.com/FAW, F-A-W. For tickets, that's athletics.com/FAW. Fan Appreciation Weekend. We look forward to seeing the Coliseum. Final weekend. It's coming up a week from Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Texas Rangers in town. Big fireworks on Saturday night.
So that is Joe Kelly, hard-throwing right-hander, 2.76 ERA. So he is pitcher number 5 for the Red Sox. 6-1, the Sox lead in the rubber game of this series.
He can throw hard.
Yes, he can.
Has an excellent fastball.
Started with the Cardinals.
As a starter.
Many baseball people thought he was going to be a star.
Yeah.
He has not quite got to that level.
You see the curveball, he's got a 95 plus and a big curveball that he just threw.
Facing Lowry, who has walked twice, so one official at bat, and that was a strikeout in the 4th inning. So Jet 0 for 1. Lowry's had a good series. All told, he's 4 for 7 with a couple of doubles, a triple. He's knocked in 3 runs. Needs 2 doubles to tie, 3 doubles to break Jason Giambi's single season doubles record. He's sitting at 45. He knows it. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
That would hit high and foul down the left field line. So it's been Pomeranz, Workman, Scott, Reed, and now Kelly. So the Red Sox have one of the best closers in the business, and Craig Kimbrell. We have not seen him in this series.
And we'll see regardless. And right now, even with a non-save, Cap, I think he'll come in the game just because he hasn't pitched.
So 2-2 the count. Red Sox with an upcoming 9-game road trip. Tampa Bay, Baltimore, and Cincinnati is what they have. So they will head to Florida after today's game. So 9-game road trip. After that, a 7-game homestand, and that is it for the Boston Red Sox, who are being chased by the Yankees. They are done with the Yankees this year. They finished 8-11 against New York. So the Yankees will not have a head-to-head opportunity to catch the Red Sox. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 100 miles an hour from Kelly. So that's the big arm.
That's it. Especially elevated. See, you could pitch up in the zone if you can throw that hard. And sometimes, Kipe, a guy who can throw that hard is better out of the bullpen, just because he doesn't have to worry about pacing, nothing. Just rear back and throw hard. Have the kind of curveball he does, plus the fastball.
First pitch to Healy is a strike in the outside corner. So I'm looking at the Red Sox schedule, Ray, and this doesn't seem right to me. In the Red Sox final 25 games, they do not play the Yankees.
That is hard.
That doesn't seem right.
No. Who are they playing within the division?
Just I'm looking. The last series against the Yankees was September 1, 2, and 3. So they're done with them. I'm just looking. Before the A's came in, they played Toronto and Tampa Bay, and then, as we said, they got Tampa Bay, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. That one is belted. Left center field. It's hit well, and that baby's gone. So Ryan Healy goes to deep left center field for his 25th home run. If the ball hits to the right of that yellow line, to the right as we're looking at it, then it's a home run. And that's exactly what happened.
Right up on the little ledge below the yellow line. And there's your mid to upper 90s fastball. Out of strike zone at 99. And that's a good swing on a pitch out of the strike zone at 99. There's the ledge up on that, and then right on the batter's eye. Stay down for the Jimmy Fund.
So 6-2. So the A's with their first home run today, second in the series, and home run number 210 on the year for the Athletics. Matt Olson today's 0 for 3.
You know, it makes me wonder sometimes how a guy can throw that hard and get hit.
Ain't that the truth?
I mean, seriously, 99 miles per hour.
I agree.
And even out of the strike zone, it's not like it was fastball down the middle. That's how powerful Ryan Healy is. Number 25 hit is 25th.
I think you watch somebody, and listen, we're just using Kelly as an example because he throws 100 miles an hour. You watch that, and then you watch Dallas Keuchel throw 88 and get people out over and over and over again. And there's a lot of Joe Kellys out there, guys who throw hard, but never, at least not until this point, just never put it all together. So he walks Olson, and Carl Willis is coming out. Carl's probably not going to be happy with this.
I said, you know what, Joe? I couldn't throw nearly as hard as you, but I got outs.
Well, Carl Willis isn't the first or last pitching coach that's going to say that to Joe Kelly. Kimbrel starting to move around a little bit. Joe Kelly is 29 years old. He's in his 5th year in the big leagues. His best year was 2013 with the Cardinals when he pitched both as a starter and a reliever and had a 2.69 ERA. First pitch, 99 miles an hour, first strike. Chapman a strikeout and 2 walks. Bogarts gets a big hop, fires to second for 1, on to first, not in time. So the good speed by Chapman keeps the inning going.
John Farrell's got his hand up, but then decided let's play baseball, and understand why. Chapman's through the bag by the time the ball reached Moreland. It's a good speed and also speed of frustration getting down the line, because Chapman probably wanted to do a little bit more than that.
So 2 outs. Here's Boog Powell. So first pitch to Powell is in there for a strike as Chris Smith continues to throw, now being joined by Liam Hendricks. So a home run by Ryan Healy here in the 8th inning has inched the A's a little bit closer. Rolled slowly towards second. Holt scoops it up onto first. Side retires. Healy's 25th home run of the year. Gets the A's their second run. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's the Red Sox 6 and the A's 2. Here's our game summary for today, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 2-7-1 for the A's, 6-8-1 for the Red Sox. Gossett into the 6th inning gave up 3 earned runs. Drew Pomeranz pitched 6, gave up 1 earned run. Healy just homered his 25th, and in 10 days got 2 doubles today, 4 doubles in the series. And Vasquez has the only home run today for the Red Sox. So this is the rubber game of the series, so the A's got some work to do. So when it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. Chris Smith comes in. So Smith to face Moreland, Vasquez, and Devers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 9 starts. This is the 3rd relief appearance for Smith. Moreland's 1 for 3, had a big RBI double in the 6th that came with 2 outs. So Gossett gave up 3 earned runs in 5 1/3. Dull. Smith grabs it and he'll underhand to first. So that's out number 1. Dull, no runs in 2 innings. Mole gave up 2 runs. Were both of those runs earned, Ray? Is that
yes,
what
they
you're talking?
figured that every run in the 7th inning was earned because they figured a fielder's choice, even though there was an error allowing the race runners to. Leo went over and double checked with the official score, and he explained that fielder's choice reached, and so all 3 are earned. Thanks, Leo. He's a man.
And Mole gives up 2 runs then in a third of an inning, and Casilla gives up a run in 2/3 of an inning. So a bit of an ugly 7th inning. That's the A's 3 runs.
We look combined at the top of the inning. That's what makes it really bad. The A's had a chance. Had some chances in this game, but Bases loaded in the 7th. Strikeout.
1-0 to Vasquez. The homer was in the 5th. Two 2-0 with the count. White Sox are leading the Tigers 16-5 in Detroit.
It's amazing what the loss of 3 players will do. Victor Martinez out for the season. Upton traded to the Angels. Verlander to the Astros. There's Greg Kimbrell.
Somebody else too, though. JD Martinez.
Martinez to the Diamondbacks. That's right. He had 4 home runs in the game. He was gone before this last crew. We're going to Detroit a week from. Actually, a week from right now.
And when was the last time we were in Detroit where Tigers weren't playing for anything?
That's right. That's true.
I mean, they're always in it or close to being in it, but it's a different deal now.
If they could trade Cabrera, they would, but he's got so much money on his contract.
Yeah.
Ian Kinsler, another one.
Vasquez just got a piece of it. The thing is with Cabrera, Ray, is I mean, he's in the American League, so he's going to hit for a long time yet. You know, at least they can DH him. And you could still build around him a little bit as build your lineup around him, because I mean, he's such a good hitter. I think.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he's going to keep hitting for a long, long time, kind of like Albert Pujols.
Sure.
But it's going to be a lot different being in Detroit without the guys you mentioned, especially Verlander, even though he's only pitching once every 5 days.
This part is going to be the coconut cream pie from my good friend Jim Price.
That's right.
Can't
Can't wait to see him.
Dave Dombrowski was at Detroit and signed a few of those guys. Took Mr. I's money, Mr. Illich, who now with the Red Sox, spending the money here. He went from the Marlins where they had no money.
Simeon, a nice play, high backhand, throws across the 9 and 2 away. So you're saying that Dombrowski's seen it all.
He has seen it all. I'm just thinking with the Marlins, he said, okay, you won the World Series, let's just unload everybody. And then went to the Tigers and came to the Red Sox. So really, he's moving up in the world because Tigers, unfortunately, I mean, with what Mr. Illich did, not only with the Tigers, but the city of Detroit, was tremendous. And he did pass away and things have changed.
So 2 outs for Devers. You know what else is crazy too, Ray? The Detroit Tigers coming into this year, a $180 million payroll, 2nd highest in baseball, higher than the Yankees.
Yeah, because they're cutting back. Do you have Cabrera's salary? Because he's got several years left, and I've heard like $190 million left.
Yeah, probably his salary this year is $28 million. Let's see how long his contract runs for. He's in the 2nd year of an 8-year, $248 million deal through 2023.
That's the reason they had 192 left, because I thought I had read 192.
So, well, that's probably about right.
Yeah.
So 6 more years left on the deal. Figure the shade. Yeah, it probably is about 190.
Yeah.
6 years, 190 million left.
Somebody would take him, but you'd have to eat a whole bunch of that.
Yes, you would. Powell hustling in, still coming in, and he makes the catch. So Chris Smith with a 3-up, 3-down inning. Last chance for the A's. 4 to tie, 5 to take the lead.
Young man has 3 drives, but they've all been very big. Andrew Benintendi has 3 doubles today, and the last one was a big one. But he's had a great game. He has driven in a whole bunch of runs, tried 3 in the last one, and he drove in 2. 7th inning, that made it to 6-1. Ryan Healy made it 6-2. What a day for the young left fielder. A whole bunch of rookies this year having tremendous years, and he's one of them.
So here's the closer, Craig Kimbrell. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your trusted oil change, tune-up, and repair experts. This guy's special. 5-0, 1.50 ERA. And yes, 112 strikeouts in 6 innings. That was not a misprint. Canha doesn't care as he rips it into the left field corner. And Mark Canha's having a terrific day as he makes the big turn. And you know what? I think he did the right thing.
Yes, he did.
Off the crack of the bat, you're figuring that's a double, but Benintendi got a nice hop off the wall, and he was set up to get a quick throw into the second base, and Canha put the brakes on.
Not so much for more first pitch fastballs, because this one just crushed.
So Canha, a single, 2 doubles. He's 3 for 4 today. And here's Bruce Maxwell. Kimbrell delivers, and it's a fastball up and away. Maxwell pinch hit in the 7th and struck out.
Let's hope what they say is true about Kimbrell. You come in a non-save situation, you give it up a little bit. Well, he's see what happens. I mean, first pitch fastball, he'll change everything after that happened, but we shall see what happens.
Canha takes off. He'll go to second base. So 2-0 the count. 16.8 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's the most among all major league relievers. Leads the American relievers in strikeouts, ERA, tied for 3rd in saves. So he is indeed special. Started with the Atlanta Braves, came up in 2010, pitched half the season with the Braves, and then 2011, 12, 13, 14, and then the Padres in 15, and this is his 2nd year here with the Red Sox. Swing and a miss, 99 miles an hour. So 2-1 the count to Maxwell. Kimbrell is 29 years old. Red Sox have a club option for next year on him, which they will obviously exercise. 99 again.
That's a ball, too. And you have to really be patient enough that you don't swing at pitches out of the strike zone. And this one, it's thrown hard, but it's not a strike. If you try to pull it, you're definitely in trouble.
Kimbrell has a very distinctive kind of setup. You see, he bends way down, kind of holds that right arm out.
Purchase.
Yeah.
I was thinking about what Edwin Encarnacion, how they approach each other if he happens to hit a home run off of him. And he does that when he's rounding the bases, which that's his trot.
3-2 pitch. Very close.
Sounded like a strike.
I think Andy Fletcher thought about calling it a strike.
And if he did, I think Bruce Maxwell would have said, "You're right. See you later."
7 walks by Red Sox pitchers.
1 has scored, and that's the only time the A's scored.
Sometimes if you're the hitter, you just like, get out of there. So 2 on and nobody out. He's trying to make it interesting against one of baseball's best closers. As Marcus Semien steps up. 2 singles, a walk, and a ground out for Semien. And another ball. Chad Pinder to follow. Missed again, 2-0. Kimbrel is not a guy who has control problems. That walk to Maxwell, just his 13th walk in 60 innings. Swing and a miss by Simeon. So the Red Sox, as they head toward the postseason, they still have a little more work to do, but maybe they're kind of envisioning now with Price being in the bullpen. And it's a pretty good guy to have down there, with, of course, Kimbrel being the closer.
That might have been a ball also. Yeah, you're right. That's a pretty potent bullpen.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, obviously he's not ready yet to go out and start and pitch, 6 innings, but he's got 3 weeks to kind of get himself ready pitching out of the bullpen. And if you have somebody like that who could pitch 2-3 innings in the middle of a game, 2-3 quality innings, that's a pretty big deal.
Well, he did do it with the Rays, and it's when he came up out of nowhere and pitched in the postseason. Had a lot of success out of the bullpen. Then became a great starter. Cy Young Award winner.
Just missed, and now it's 3-2. Very, very close.
Andy Fletcher gave him a lot of credit in a 5-run game. He is not making a 4-run game. He's not just saying everything's a strike.
Pitch is hit to right field, where Betts backs up, squares up, and Mookie Betts makes the catch. So Simeon is retired on a fly ball to right field. So here is Chad Pinder. So here's Pinder. Pinder is 1 for 4, a single, a ground out, actually into a double play, and he has struck out a couple of times. Chance for a big hit here. First pitch is a slider at 88 miles an hour, and it sneaks in there for a strike. So on to Philadelphia after the game. Make sure you join us for game 1 of that 3-game series tomorrow night. Migden and Leiter play young right-handers. And that's a strike on the outside corner with 98, 0-2.
Well, you figure Kimbrel's going to settle down. He's not going to throw pitches wildly forever. I mean, you don't have the number of strikeouts he has, and expect to get up there and take pitches, and he's going to walk you.
Oh, 2 pitch, and Pinder tried to hold up on that slider, and he couldn't do it. So Pinder is chewing on Andy Fletcher a little bit. Fletcher takes the mask off, which is the universal umpire sign that says I'm in charge. And he did go. So there may be a little bit of frustration there from Chad Pinder, as the replay showed he did definitely go. So 2 outs. Here's Lowry. Blocked by Vasquez. Stay tuned for Ace Post Game Live presented by State Farm. Coes, Bip, and Stu. We'll have all the recap for you. We like to hand them a win. We're trying. It's not going to be easy today. One and 0 to Lowry. Lowry is 0 for 2, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. There's a strike on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. So Kimbrel trying to wrap it up. Not a save situation for him. Strike 2. So that'll bring the crowd to its feet. Red Sox trying to finish the homestand with a win.
Backdoor slider.
Kimbrel peering in. He's ready. The 1-2 pitch is a fastball way high. Canna's at second. Maxwell is at first.
I think if a runner gets on base, the other one time runs the plate.
So a big at bat. Especially with Healy being in the on deck circle. Just missed. 99 again. So a full count. Runners will take off. So 21 pitches here in the 9th inning for Craig Kimbrel. So maybe not quite as sharp as he usually is. 10 balls and 11 strikes. Payoff pitch. Runners go, and it's fouled straight back. Good swing by Lowry.
Now Ryan Healy in the on deck circle took a 99-mile-an-hour fastball deep. It's one of the A's 4 grand slams. See, get the plate again.
Three-two pitch. Here it is, and it's right at the knee. Strike 3 called, and that's the ball game. So Kimbrel strikes out the final 2 hitters to end the game, and the Boston Red Sox take 2 out of 3 from the Athletics here at Fenway Park. Paul Morantz gets his 16th win of the year. He goes to 16-5. Daniel Gossett is the loser. He goes to 4-9. Time of game was 3 hours and 19 minutes. The attendance was 35,470. Final from Fenway this afternoon. The Boston Red Sox beat the Athletics 6-2. Time now for Ace Post Game Live presented by State Farm. Here's Jim Kozimor, Bip Roberts, and Dave Stewart.